The post-pandemic economy will boom, but not for all. That is really what brings us together, to build an economy where the prosperity is shared by all Americans.
America is more unequal today than it has ever been. Great wealth disparities slow our economy, poison our politics, and offend our moral sensibilities.
The wage stagnation of the last couple decades seems to be more of a policy choice, and the United States has chosen particularly trade policies that prioritize the interests of capital over the interests of workers.
Disparity affects our great cities, sprawling suburbs, and rural heartland.
The history of America's workers and farmers in our industrial and agricultural heartland has been a rugged one, but one that also inspires. What America makes and grows America.
South Texas, as you know, almost 100 years ago, this region was nearly empty, described as a desert by some. Since then, the valley has grown tremendously. To ensure we continue to thrive and prosper, our growth must be met with congruent investments in our infrastructure.
The broadly shared growth following World War II no longer benefits working and middle-class Americans.
My father had a third-grade education. He was functionally illiterate. But he had a middle-class job, he had health care, he could walk to work and sustain himself. And that's a little bit out of people's grasp these days.
Today, the top 1% of Americans hold about 16 times as much wealth as the bottom 50%.
All of this corporate concentration has a direct impact on widening economic disparities, making workers, consumers, and small businesses unable to bargain for fairer wages, lower prices, or a sustainable market share.
If we want a more just and equal future, we need to actively re-examine the policies and decisions that keep workers' paychecks stagnant while top earners grow their wealth.
Back home in my Minnesota district, childcare ends up, for a family of 4 with 2 children in daycare, just an extraordinary percentage of the monthly bills.
Inspired by Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, and Lyndon Johnson, our committee will study the causes and consequences of economic disparity.
As we see new innovations in AI, it's important to think about the policy innovations we need to keep pace with these changes, because I actually think there are many ways that technology increase economic disparity, which is the purview of our committee.
We just have to make sure that we address in particular this labor challenge and this labor mismatch to make sure that all Americans, that every citizen has the opportunity to really benefit from the economic growth that we've continued to see, and what can we do to further accelerate that growth.
We will listen to academic experts, community leaders, the private sector, and most importantly, everyday Americans.
Automation has contributed to a lot of job loss. They used to see their buddies down there working in this work area, and now it's a cage with a robot in there.
A lot of people at the beginning did think that money was the driving force behind why we're unionizing, but it couldn't be further from the truth. It's about making sure that our patients are protected, that we have enough people on the floor to care for these patients.
At the time, I had 3 grandchildren. I now have 4. I completely converted my basement to homeschool them. I'm not a parent, I'm a grandparent. I still need help. If you take me out of this equation, the whole house collapses.
We want to show America to itself. We will document the hopes, concerns, and aspirations of Americans throughout our land in the belief that just behind our differences lie unity and a commitment to each other. We can and must do this, and together we will.